case anyone was wondering, this is proof that I am a light summer, just FYI. What if I told you that before you even said hi, you've already sent a message? Today we're breaking down the nonverbal cues that are part of your first impression to know what people notice first and how to control the story your body is telling. Welcome to the Creating Opportunities podcast. This is a place where we help smart, ambitious professionals create better relationships for success. And why? Because people matter. They're messy, but they make life better and they matter. And I am your host, Cassandra. I am a speaker, trainer, an iced coffee lover. It's important you know that. And I am here to help you make deeper connections. So let's get into it. Now, in case you missed last week's episode, I'll put a card to it here and in the show notes. We are in a deep dive on first impressions. And last week we kind of gave an overview of why they mattered, some overall tips. But what we learned last week is a shocking amount of your first impression is given in nonverbal cues. So we are going to talk about those today. So first off, body language. Even as I sit here talking to you, I'm shrinking down because my camera angle is slightly lower today. And I need to sit up because posture matters. Standing tall with your shoulders back immediately gives an air of confidence, of assurance, even a little assertiveness. However, it also makes you more approachable. You know, think about it. The person who's sitting there like hunched over doesn't really look like they want to be chatting with a lot of people. So when you're meeting new people, shoulders back, stand tall, and have uncrossed arms, relaxed hands, and face people directly. These are all what we call open body language. They're signs that you are ready to engage. And women in particular, we stand like this just because it's comfortable, right? We stand, if you're listening, we stand arms crossed and sit arms crossed. This is comfortable to us, but it immediately looks like, please don't talk to me, and I'm slightly judging you. So uncross the arms, loosen up the hands. That one might seem strange, but sometimes when we're nervous, we kind of clench or we do this, right? We kind of push our hands together, relaxed hands. And the nice part with this one is that by having this open, confident body language, yes, it's giving a great first impression to others and how they feel about you, but doing this also changes how you feel about yourself. It very much goes along with Amy Cuddy's whole research on power posing, right? If we stand tall, we feel better about ourselves. We feel a little more confident. So stand tall, arms open. Okay, next up we have to talk about eye contact. I mentioned this in last week's that this is one I actually have realized I've started struggling with since I'm not around people all the time. And with eye contact, there is a difference between being engaging versus intimidating. Let's face it, eye contact is powerful, but there's also a balance. Oh, I'm gonna give some things away right now. Years ago, in high school, I read a book on how to flirt. And one of the things was when you see someone across a room that you're interested in, look at them for 3 seconds and then look away and then look back. And so my friends and I, this is the late 90s, we used to go to a swing dance club. And there was a very good looking guy at the bar. Way too old for me. Completely age inappropriate. But I thought he was cute. And so I did it. I would give the eye contact and then look away. And then I'd look back and look away. And then he came over. And little 17-year-old me did not know what to do with that information. So eye contact is a powerful thing. We gotta wield it carefully. Plus, too little eye contact comes off as distracted, right? We've all met that person who when we meet them, they go, oh, hi. And they look off to the side, past you, to other people. That's fun. And too much eye contact can come off assertive, intimidating, or like I was sharing earlier, maybe given the wrong impression. So now that I've completely scared you from eye contact, let's talk about what works. You want to aim for natural eye contact. What does that mean? It means we're looking at the person for about 50% of the time. Maybe slightly more when you're listening, but don't think that eye contact means, okay, I've got to sit here and I've got to look straight at this person the whole time. And never look away. That's freaking creepy, okay? So you can look away. Even when I do these videos, part of the reason it might feel like I'm talking to you is because I do not stare down the barrel of this camera the entire time. You see me look away for seconds. You see me think about things and come back to you. That's natural. So work on eye contact. Now, again, this goes to something I said last week, but we're all trying to get better at this skill, which means sometimes we're gonna do it wrong. This is one where I feel like you might be scared to even try for accidentally giving the wrong impression, either coming off intimidating, etc., coming off too intense, but just work on it. Work on what feels natural. You can only get better at this by practicing. So don't be afraid to give it some practice. And that's why it's important to not just practice this at an event, at the place where it matters, whether that's a informational interview for a job, a networking event, a client meeting. Work on it. Again, my go-tos with the barista, with the waiter at the restaurant, with the checker at the grocery store. Work on it in your daily, everyday life to get better. And I spent a lot of time on this one last week, but smile. If we want to come off friendly, we need a smile. People are constantly looking to see if people are approachable. Smiling is the #1 way to do that. Now, don't smile maniacally. You know, if you're like this about everything when you don't even know the person, that's a bit much. But a little upturned grin, smiling as you approach somebody and say hello is going to make all the difference in the world. And lastly, on nonverbal cues, and my gosh, there's so much we could talk about, but let's discuss handshake versus non-handshake. Until 2020, handshake have traditionally been a staple of first impressions. I honestly got scared that after the pandemic, handshakes were just gonna be gone completely. And we actually need them. Touch builds connection, right? So you wanna try for a handshake, but handshakes are not appropriate everywhere anymore. I think really you can gauge others' interest in a handshake, but I feel most are still pretty open to it, especially at an event. If you're meeting somebody one-on-one, it's natural to go for a handshake. If you're meeting in a mixer type environment, it might be more of a wave, but you want to show hands. Hands signal that you can be trusted. Remember what we were talking about last week, that we are constantly looking and scanning to see, is this person safe? It's so weird. It is so subconscious, but we want to know where your hands are. So if it's not a handshake, make sure you at least wave hello. Like, hi, nice to meet you. Notice that most of the time, even on these episodes, if you're watching them and not just listening, I make sure to raise a hand and say hi. So even if you're giving a first impression over a Zoom, raise a hand and go, hi, good to see you. That's it. Give a little wave, since you can't go, hi, good to see you. And of course, when you're giving that handshake, make sure it's firm, not bone crushing, but firm, and smile and make eye contact while doing it. Also, you're going to blade to the side. You're not going to come straight at somebody. It's a bit aggressive. Now, if you want to know more ways to practice these things before a big event, to approach well and make a great first impression, we are going to continue this series next week with what do we actually say, but I dive deep on all of this in the Confidently Connect on-demand workshop. It is everything you need to know to be confident and be yourself in a networking event, whether that's a mixer, a conference, a convention, a symposium, etc. So if you need more help with it, you can get the link to that in the show notes or in the description box. And next week, we will dive into the words you can say to create connection and opportunity, giving a great first impression. So check that out next week. When it's ready, it will go here. And if you missed last week's episode, you can watch that one here. Links to both will be in the show notes when they're available, and I'll see you over there. Bye.